You know, the Penguin series has been great, but a lot of people have been asking, where is the Batman? Where is he? And I have an answer for you all. He's right here. Okay? So I don't want to hear any of those comments because he is right here. In all seriousness, The Penguin has been a flawless series so far, in my opinion. The first 2 episodes took a little bit to build up, but episode 4 especially has been perfect, I think. It's one of the best flashback episodes ever in television, and in this video today I just want to go back through it because I enjoyed it so much, and there's not much else to make videos about right now, so let's talk about that. Honestly, I wasn't too aware of Sofia Falcone's character before the show started. Even going into the show, I don't like to learn a lot about what I'm watching. I don't like to watch trailers and stuff. She was a complete surprise to me. But from the get-go, Christine Milioti just absolutely gets the viewer's attention. She does it so perfectly. It's something in the eyes. You see, there are a few actors who can act with just their eyes, and honestly, Christine Milioti is one of the best at it. She really portrays herself as crazy, and she is definitely my favourite character in the show. I like the placement of episode 4 in the series as well, in which they show her past, because obviously you learn she is not guilty of the Hangman's crimes. And before that, I just completely assumed she was. I assumed she was guilty of all those murders before she went to Arkham, but you find out she's completely innocent, and this is a dynamic I absolutely love. I kind of love when directors put the veil over the audience in a way like this, because it tricks you. And, you know, it wasn't a cheap trick. It was just something that really surprised me, that she was innocent and that it was actually her experience in Arkham that drove her crazy.
The fact that the defendant...
am not crazy! I am not crazy!
And it's storytelling techniques like that that sort of just get you going, that get you more interested and more connected to the character, that make you feel sympathy for her, because you can see why everyone else feels she's guilty, and you can see really how badly she was stabbed in the back, because even we thought she was guilty. So again, that's really incredible. But I'm just going to go a bit through the plot of episode 4 and give some of my thoughts on it. Before we get into the video, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Sofia Falcone. Let me know if you have a character you prefer. I know a lot of people love Victor, and I certainly love Victor as well. But just let me know your thoughts. I'd love to see how people feel about the show so far, and like the video. If not for me, like it for our kid. Alright, thanks. So the episode does go into her past quite a bit, and we see that she was actually quite a socialite. We see her hair, she looks quite made up, she looks traditional, she doesn't look over the top or anything, but she just looks like a socialite, and she's actually running a charity event for women who commit suicide, which, you know, I studied criminology. I know women in prisons, especially, suicide is very common. But somebody has a few questions for her. They've been investigating a few of these suicides, and they find that they all died by hanging, which, look, I'm not into any of that Epstein conspiracy stuff, but we all know what happened. That sort of thing is very suspicious, isn't it? So Sofia sort of makes a few conclusions of her own, and she remembers, oh wait, my mother hung herself. Again, it's very dark stuff, but it's very interesting for her backstory. It's quite a cool way for her to learn that her mother was killed by her father, because, I mean, this is the conclusion she draws, and that I immediately drew, and I'm sure a lot of the audience did when this was revealed to her. So again, great storytelling. I'm not complaining yet. So the person that revealed this information to her was actually from the press, and she does try to talk to her father about it, but she doesn't really get anything out of him. So she goes back to the press and tries to talk to the same woman, but this is a big no-no. And the Penguin, actually, Oz, turns her in to her father for doing this, which, I mean, she tries to get away with it, but it was silly. She shouldn't have done that. Now, Carmine, he's a serious dude, right? We've all seen Transformers. Not a good guy. He sends her to Arkham. He blames her for all the suicides, and they sort of bend the legal system to keep her in prison for over a decade, which is crazy that they managed to do that. Again, she's perfectly sane when she goes in. There's no signs of mental illness at all. They all say she has it, but it's pretty clear she doesn't. But it's actually the years of abuse she endures while at the prison that gives her all these mental illnesses. And it makes you think how fucked up Carmine Falcone is for this, because Jesus, he's doing this to his own daughter, and some of the stuff they do to her. I mean, there's one scene where she literally Obviously, when you go to prison, you're stripped down and you're searched, but they put that thing inside you, and I mean inside you. And I'm not a woman. Thank God I'm not a woman, because I don't want to go anywhere near anything that looks like that. I mean, it's quite interesting seeing the conditions of Arkham. And of course, this is only the women's side of it, so it'd be interesting to see all of it. And I know they were talking about a TV show that has since been cancelled, but it's still somewhat in development. It'll be interesting to see what they do there, because that sounds so interesting to me. But yeah, she does her 6 months that she was originally sentenced to. Then her brother comes to speak to her, and she finds out she's not getting her hearing. She's going to basically stay in there for over a decade. And this is when she kills Magpie, who apparently is another minor Batman villain. She thinks that Magpie was a spy. She could have been. I think she may have been, but it's kind of unclear as to whether that's true or not. Anyway, she beats her to death. Pretty badass. I liked Daredevil, what can I say? Anyway, she goes back home and she decides she needs a fresh start. We're back to the present day. And basically, spoiler alert, she kills her whole family. Not with boiling acid or anything, but carbon monoxide poisoning, which is quite a crafty way of killing people. She has a cool dress, a cool outfit. There's a lot of good cinematography around the scene. I liked it. I thought it was done incredibly well. Great episode, 10 out of 10. My favourite episode of the series so far. Now, there's a few questions that arise from this episode. Who is the protagonist and the antagonist of this series? Because the two main characters, and the two characters that I believe are going to go head to head in the end, are the Penguin and Sofia. And Sofia really seems to be in the right a lot of the time. Obviously, she has just killed her whole family, but I mean, can we all blame her? And Oz, he's betrayed her several times. Not only by snitching on her to her dad, but also at the end of episode 3. I know the Penguin's obviously not a good guy. He's not going to be the protagonist of this show. But I'm just really interested to know how it'll end. And this is what makes a great TV show. Again, leave any comments if you have any idea what's going to happen next, because I've not seen many theories and I have no idea where they're going to go with it. But, I've read a few articles and stuff, and I will say I do like how they've not tried to paint Oz as misunderstood or as a super good guy or anything, as someone who's just, misunderstood by Batman or Gotham. Or they've not even tried to go too far into the zone of saying he's a product of Gotham being a shithole, which, they have sort of a little bit, and he is. But, he's gone a lot further than other people, and it's pretty clear to me that he's not a good guy. And this is something I really like. And Sofia is more that misunderstood gangster, I think. If she becomes a mafia queen, that would be cool. I honestly think she'll die at the end of the series, and this will just grow Penguin's reputation as a villain, because Penguin kind of has to win. Because as much as I like Sofia's character, the Penguin is the ultimate Batman villain in terms of them two, and when they do movies, he's going to have to be in them. That's what sells tickets. But I don't know. I really like this episode. I really love Sofia as a character and Kristen Milotti's performance as her. Let me know what you think. When the series finishes, I'll release a whole review. But I just love her character so much, and I had to speak about it. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you for watching the video. Follow me. I've got all my links in the description. Goodbye.